bring in Bull Pit Capital Markets, their chief strategist, Kathryn Rooney Vera. And Kathryn, let's go back to this Fed conversation, right? Pick up on the FOMC minutes, because what they had yesterday was extraordinary in the sense that they went straight after people. To Jim Bianco's point, they're like, hey, you're buying these schlocky stocks, you're buying stuff you shouldn't be buying, and you're making it harder on yourself. And what they mean, folks, is they talk about financial conditions. They want financial conditions to be going this way. Well, you see this yellow line? It's been going this way. The last time it made a spike like this was into Jackson Hole, where Powell punished. I mean, he just crushed the market. So they made similar comments here. But it's a predicament, isn't it, Kathryn Rooney Vera? I mean,
yes.
So if the market goes up, we're going to get punished for it. We just have to stand by and let it go down?
The Fed's sole focus now, after bringing inflation to these, or helping bring inflation to these 40-year high levels, is to bring inflation back down to the 2% target. So to get to that point, they can't have equity markets booming. They can't have unemployment at record lows. They can't have a booming economy, because that leads to demand side inflation. There's something called wage price spiral, and that's what we're currently in. Wages keep going higher because companies still can't find employees. You highlighted at the beginning of your show, large firms are reducing their workforce, but the small firms, and you can hear this across the country, I've heard it with my own clients, they're having a tough time still finding people. So the Fed, unfortunately, does have to kind of reverse course on where they've taken us over the past decade and retrench the economy, put unemployment higher, people will lose their jobs, potentially throw the economy into recession to get inflation back down to the 2% target.
You know, and I just want to pick up on that, because we had this ISM number yesterday, and within that ISM number, there's a prices paid component. And this prices paid component, I mean, it has been through the roof, right? It's come down. It's only come down this fast 2 times in history. I think in 1975 and the global financial crisis. History suggests that inflation will follow to a point where we're actually below 2%. Why doesn't the Fed acknowledge something like that?
Well, that's fantastic news for the Fed in a scenario where you have the labor market still rocketing, but you have ISM prices dropping and you have inflation looking slightly better. That's phenomenal, because that's part of the soft landing viewpoint.
Right.
History isn't conducive to soft landing.
Sure.
Soft landing, of course, meaning that the Fed can get inflation from above 5% when unemployment is below 5% back to 2% without causing unemployment to go higher, without forcing a recession. That's never happened in our history. You know, some people are saying soft landing. It could be, but I would say it's possible but not probable.
So I've got a minute to go. How are you navigating all of this?
You know, I heard someone say it this morning. I think it's right. You're being paid to be patient. So you have cash and cash equivalents now, Charles. Look at T-bills that are 3 months or 6 months. That's a cash instrument. It's paying you 4.6% for 3 months. Your money back. So I like right now being defensive, sitting in cash, buying T-bills, commercial paper, short-term treasuries, reinvesting that. I think that's where we need to be, and as well in defensives. As we go into 2023, if I'm right and we get a higher unemployment rate and the economy goes into recession, I disagree with Kenny. I think the Fed could very quickly move the opposite direction and start talking dovish. Why? Because unemployment jumps up to 5%, because the market is cratering. In that case, we look to small caps, banks, and real estate as sectors in the S&P.
Thank you so much. You always lay it out there perfectly for us, Kathryn. Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year, Charles.
All right, folks, by the way,